Hey guys, Jeff Larish here, and if you missed our previous video, be sure to click the link above and check that out. That's gonna be step one when it comes to mastering skills. And in this video, we're gonna talk about step two. I'm the owner of Dead Red Conditioning, and we specialize in movement efficiency. Our goal here with our athletes is to really help them enhance performance and reduce their injury risk. If you're looking to do the same, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you can be notified when we post videos every Monday. Have you ever noticed how smooth elite athletes are when they move? When a baseball hitter takes a swing, when a football quarterback throws a pass, or when an Olympic sprinter's running down the track. There's just such a nice flow to their movement. And we liken it to if you lined up dominoes and you flick those dominoes over. This is a great visual for how we break down movement. Imagine if these dominoes were knocked out of order. There would be a breakdown in that flow. This is what happens to a lot of athletes as they move. Today, I'm gonna go more in depth into how you can get this flow and improve your coordination. So I've taught you how to break down the phases of movement. And now I'm gonna teach you how to position your body through each phase. If you watch to the end of this video, I'm gonna provide you with another free tool that's gonna help you do this. If you don't like free stuff, stop watching. So as we get into the positions of performance, there's 7 parts of the body that we're really gonna key into. We have our feet, our knees, our hips, our shoulders, our hands, our arms, and our head. So as we start with the feet, you're gonna wanna make sure that your feet are just inside your shoulders and just outside the hips. Make sure they're forward so we're in our most athletic position. And you want 3 points of contact: your heel, ball of the foot, and pads of the toes, and then grip the ground to lock in that stability and start to build up this energy. As we work up to our knees, you're going to bend your knees. Be sure that they're tracking over the big toes. You don't want your knees pushing out or pinching in. This causes energy leaks and instability. If you keep your knees set, it allows all your energy to go straight down and straight up so you can maximize your power. Another thing that you're looking for when you go from the side is that your knees are in front of the ankles. A lot of times people tend to push their knees back over the ankles, and it's gonna put you in an unstable position, and you're gonna lose out on your power and increase the risk or the stress throughout the body. As we work up through the hips, you want to make sure that your hips are level and square, so they should be just inside the knees. You're also going to want to make sure that if you look at yourself from the side, they're splitting the distance between your knees and shoulders. As you work up through your shoulders, you want to make sure your shoulders are anchored. You draw them straight down and slightly back to engage your muscles. Your shoulders will be in front of the bar in this position. This is extremely crucial. A lot of times people get their butts a little too low and their shoulders behind the bar. Now the hands are a really important component to this. You want to make sure that you're about a thumb's distance away from your shins. Your grip is really important. The big thing is you want to think of your fingers like hooks. And that bar should just be resting in those hooks with your thumb wrapped around. You can either use a hook grip, or what I like to do is I like to press my thumb into my index finger. You want to be sure that your grip is a little bit loose, so there should be some spacing between your palm and the bar. And that's really important as we start to work up into the pulling the bar off the ground. With your arms, you want to make sure that your arms are slightly relaxed. Your head should be set so that you're either looking down towards the ground or about a 45-degree angle out in front of you. In this particular movement, your load is gonna be essentially the same in terms of your body position. But now as you get into your first pull, that first pull, again, is taking the bar from the ground to the top of the knee. Some key things that we're watching for. You want to be sure that you continue to grip with your feet so that you can really drive through that full foot. As you work up through your knees, you want to make sure that your knees are staying set and tracking over the big toes, as well as staying in front of the ankle. As you work up through the hips, you want to make sure that your hips are pushing vertically up towards the roof your shoulders and hips are rising together, and you're maintaining that anchor with the shoulders. Your arms are still slightly relaxed here, as well as your hands with your grip, and then keeping your head set in the same position wherever you set your sights, whether it's down or 45 degrees in front of you, all of that stays the same. A big thing you gotta watch for is that your shoulders stay in front of the bar. The tendency here that a lot of people have happen to them is their shoulders get behind the bar as they go into that first pull. Now, as we get into this second pull, some big things are gonna need to happen through the feet. This initiation really has got to happen through the big toes specifically. So as you get this bar above the knee, you really wanna make sure you're driving through your big toes and getting your heels up. At that moment, once the heels come up, that's when you're pulling, driving your elbows up to the roof. So as you drive through your big toes, that's gonna help you extend your ankle, knee, and hips, and that's called triple extension. And that's really where your power comes from. That allows you to pop the bar up and get a little bit of this weightlessness on the bar. And at that moment, you're pulling with your hands and driving your elbows up right to mid-torso. It's really crucial that you keep your shoulders anchored in this high pull. A lot of coaches teach to shrug the shoulders. What this is gonna do is it's gonna take the shoulder out of the joint, and now as you go to rotate and move it, it can really cause a lot of damage and will also slow you down as you start to work into that transition under the bar. So be careful and make sure that your shoulders are anchored. If you see your shoulders go up towards your ears, you've got to try and draw them down, okay, and really get the engagement in the back. And that's another crucial thing is if your shoulders are shrugged up, your back muscles are not engaged, and so you're missing out on a lot of your strength as well. As you get into the transition, your marker is the sternum. So as you high pull into this sternum, you're trying to reach the peak on your toes at the same time you get it to your sternum. From here, we tuck the elbows towards the ribs, drop the butt and bend the knees, okay, and drive those elbows forward. And that gets us into this catch position. So in this position, as we're going from transition to catch, it's really crucial that you get your heels to the ground and grip the ground. Keep your knees set, tracking over the big toes. Your shoulders stay in front of the hips and knees in front of the ankles. Okay, this bar should be resting right on your shoulders, and it's rolled back in your fingertips here. You've got to make sure that you get the stability and you have that bar locked in, and from here we can stand up. Now in a power clean, a technical power clean, you can be all the way down to 3/4 of a squat just above parallel, or you can be all the way standing up. So anywhere in that range that you need to. The advantage of dropping down is really to be able to allow you to pull more weight so that you don't have to pull it as high. The whole goal of the power clean is to get that pull to sternum, and then from there the bar stays at the same height as you work down underneath it. You should have a better understanding of how to master your movement, but there's still so much more. So be sure to tune in next Monday as I dive a little bit deeper in how you can really enhance your performance and reduce your injury risk. Before you leave, don't forget about the free worksheet that I'm providing, so be sure to click the link below so you can get it. If you felt like this video was helpful, like it and share it with other players, parents, and coaches. Have a topic you'd like me to discuss? Comment below and let me know. The DRC is your resource for physical, mental, and nutritional conditioning. Thanks for watching this video. Have the best day you've ever had.